Saying we was from Africa and stole a birthright. That's a trick move, something that a dirty war would do. Claim your nationality of the land, you get screwed. So we studied your background, your treaties you wrote. Fake as history, we ain't come over here on no boat. Frontin' like you indigenous to the land, you disgust me. The tomahawk is back in our hands, it's getting ugly. You running around screaming black power, cause it sells to the truth. Rivers veiled with a bull and high hills. Native Americans butt hurt, can't deal, cause they know damn well the Trail of Tears ain't real. Respect the Aborigine, this land is ours, and though you all, you still a guest, motherfucker.
I had 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me much, telling me. I had 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me much, telling me. House nigga, real nigga, fake nigga, feel nigga. My skin ain't black, what the deal, nigga? Salute on my real spitters, Aborigines, owners of the land and every goddamn tree and every goddamn sea. Invaders ever crossed, step foot on the land, and you can step the fuck off. Breathe, you gon' make us swing the sacred tomahawk. Fucking around with us with that black conscious talk. Fake pics of slave ships, that's the reference. If we African, look, you gon' need more evidence. I'm American, Aboriginal, indigenous. Your bogey DNA test, that shit is rhetoric. Stay woke, Aboriginal, get out. Your civil rights acts, all you can eat, big out. The Stockholm syndrome, make skits out. Phoenix Moon got the antidote, get that shit out. Meanwhile, I'm rapping about my birthright, fuck a freestyle. Teach each man, each woman, each child. Black race is really Indians indeed now. Man, they indeed now. Hollywood, Title 18, G goes. Pilgrims get re-go with Phoenix and Beast Mode. Bringing my peoples out of the sleep mode. We ain't black, colors, Africans, or Negroes. I had 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me much, telling me. I had 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me much, telling me.
Hello, everyone. So tonight, we got a heavyweight jam. We have a really very special for everyone. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. We're going to come and show the togetherness that's in the community, and we're just going to give it to you. So instead of me just giving everybody and letting everybody know who we got, I'm just going to go ahead and bring everybody on, and here we go. What's good, Phoenix? How you doing, Mr. Curry? We got Johnny Aborigine in the building. What's good, Johnny? Oh, Johnny might have stepped out.
Halito, what's up, beloved?
Oh, we got Mac in the building.
Shit, my fucking video ain't coming on.
Oh, I hear him now. What's good, Johnny? He just went out of...
Halito.
There you go. Let me make sure he turned up. Yeah, he turned up. We can hear you.
Yeah, y'all can hear me?
What's good, Mac?
Oh, man, nothing much. Oh, nothing. It's a pleasure to be on with everybody, you know, to show Indian unity and do what's right for our community, you know?
Facts.
Yes, indeed.
Johnny, you good right now? I see Johnny's having technical difficulties. He just hit the refresh button. How you doing, Mr. Davis?
Oh, man, everything is cool. That song you played before we went on, that was fire.
Ain't it, man?
I'm
hey, I be over here rocking like, oh, every time. Yeah, that's a good song.
There we go. My signal was lagging.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny, what's happening?
Alito was good.
Oh, man, everything's healthy. We are here. The gang's on here. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Everything good.
Yes, indeed. We will all link up this weekend at the New Grandma Killers tour, doing what we love to do. I'm super excited. Got a lot of people coming through. Everything's going to be set up really nice. We will be practicing social distance. Everybody's not going to be on top of each other. We got a bomb menu thanks to, we got Brother Damon Taylor. We got Carter's Creations coming through. So everybody's going to be good. Fed well. I'm excited. I heard they got a drink with grilled lemonade. I can't wait to try it. I know that wasn't a typo. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm. It's gonna be the bomb,
Yeah.
the biggity bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we are practicing social distancing. You know, we didn't want to give the haters nothing to talk about, so I went out and bought, all types of stuff.
Mask included.
A little bit more.
Mask,
They told me
hand sanitizer.
the
Coach
section
Wayne got shield.
the section
Coach Wayne got
we're
shield.
going to
So
section off this section.
everybody's gonna be like the family in the bubble in their own section. Everybody's they
Right.
with their quarantine people. Everything's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cool. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be safe.
Hey, well, we got everybody here. Guess who just walked in the building? Oh my
Who that is?
crazy.
Who that
His
is?
phone wouldn't turn off. It was just the whole time. He just come in with jokes, not even trying to have them. He just ain't acting as fool. I'm trying not. I just gave him the. He just walked down the hallway.
What are the Wild India?
Yeah, he's on to do he's gonna do the hosting on Friday night with Callie Williams, and then he's gonna be doing his show. He's gonna show us why he's Omar crazy.
For sure.
I'm excited.
All right, so Tasha be on in a minute.
Yes,
Tasha Lim. Tasha Lim. So what y'all got for me tonight, y'all? What's up? What's good?
Reconstruction Era Part 2, because this is history in the making, and we are a part of that, and that's what I called it, and that's what it is. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I was talking to Sci-Fi yesterday, and Sci-Fi Karu ended up making a good point. He said the things that we're doing right now, we are the founding mothers and fathers of what's going on right now. Whether we believe it or not, we are the founding mothers and fathers of restoring what's ours.
Yes.
And this is how important this is. I mean, we're doing something that I don't know. I don't want to say nobody has done it in the past. I don't know. But we are the mothers and fathers of what's going on right now. It's been building up to this.
I think it would be better and more correct if we say we're the children of that, because it was people before us and people before them that tried to tell us this information. But the system that we live in, it doesn't allow us. We're learning a new language. We're going to people's platforms to learn. And people who are outside that, who live outside that, nobody wants to listen to them. And we all have that in our families. When you study the genealogy, there's always somebody that was like, fuck that, I'm not going that route. And they were shunned. They were normally shunned, like a lot of us are in the beginning. But I think the way you guys are putting it is easy to understand. It kills all the bullshit.
Go somewhere.
You have nowhere to run. You can't wiggle out of it. So it's not like we're the foreparent. We're just that stream of energy that's through, and we're gathering more steam. I would put it like that.
I like that. I like that.
We know how to translate it better than anybody that ever came before us. Because normally people that came before us is usually people that mixes ideologies together, like Moors or Hebrews or African-centered, Africans traveling to America, things like that. But nobody ever put grandma on a pedestal like we doing. We never centered around our grandmother's lineages like we doing. It's usually somebody else trying to champion our cause, trying to put their identity on top of our grandparents' identity, and mixing truths together. And we can't get the full truth because you have people, you steady have different ideologies infiltrating with our true lineages and true identity, our true movement, the movement that we supposed to be on, because you got so many different people infiltrating, from the outside. So
Right.
yeah, I think we definitely the progenitors, are putting
Yes.
grandma first. I definitely believe that.
I
Yes. I
concur.
agree.
Very consistent. With bringing back the potato salad, bringing back the cornbread, making sure it don't go nowhere. Grits are groceries.
Grits.
Let me see
So what's gonna be
that.
happening? So what's gonna be happening at the Grandma Killers tour? I can't wait.
Grits.
Oh my goodness, we all have bomb presentations. Um, and it's going to be completely unique because it's tailored, handmade, specially made just for Georgia. We got a lot of information for the children, for the elders. We're looking forward to a couple of good visitors that are coming. That footage is actually going to be featured um, in a video. I'm just going to say that of someone's 25th anniversary album. We certainly are going to be live streaming. It's going to be super dope. It's an all-day affair Saturday. We have a good portion of things to keep people entertained on Friday. Got a bomb show. We got a lot of things going on. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be really nice. I'm happy. I'm very excited. We have taken all precautions and measures. We are looking forward to it. Lots of people getting on planes to come and chop it up with us. And that's just so dope. That's so dope.
And I want people to realize when you attend this event, you
Yes.
really have to look at it as you're reuniting with other family members in different states, because once you find out what tribe or nation you from, there are other people in different states that's from the same tribe or nation that you're from. So it's really a family affair. That's
Right.
what it
It's really
is.
like a big
This is a
big family cookout. That's what it feels like to
Family
me. Like
vacation.
a big family cookout.
yep,
Family vacation.
yep. You're meeting
Yeah.
family that you ain't seen before. I mean, this is how powerful it is. This is how serious it is. Because although because some people might have issues with their family at home or whatever, with some of their family members. So this is a chance to meet your other family members.
Right.
You're not just limited to what you're around. Now
That's right.
this is your chance to meet other family.
That's right.
That's right. That is true. That is true. I agree.
I think either one of us should do it or all of us should do it. Walk around with a notebook, because the things that you say are really, I mean, you don't even realize, a lot of times we don't even realize that we're saying it. But the things that we say and that we pull from each other when we're around each other is some monumental shit. Because
That's right.
you're around the best. So when you're around the best, you speak the best, you think the best, you do the best.
That's right.
Write down what people are saying, because that can be used later.
That's right. I agree.
Damn, that's deep.
Capture it on video like we'll be doing anyway. But when you're around like-minded people, what you pull out of each other is amazing.
Right. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's almost like the Bulls, huh? Michael Jordan pulled the best out of everybody.
The who?
Just like that.
Michael Jordan pulled the best out of everybody.
Right, right.
Or them Lakers. Kobe Bryant.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, any team or any superstar that had a mediocre team, and now that team, the mediocre team, is now they're great because of that one player that made them better. Um, that's just like what he's saying. You can make each other great if we just
Mm.
bond together and work together. It's almost like any type of sport team or anything with a group of people that got to achieve a better growth, achieve a goal, but it takes a group effort to achieve that goal. So that's basically what he's saying. That's basically what you're saying, Mr. Davis.
The volume, your volume went down real
I
low.
don't know why my volume low. Is it still low?
I mean, I can hear.
I can turn it up. It's no problem. I'm just trying to
Could
make
you
sure.
please? I mean,
What about now? Is that better?
that's much better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
All
I
right.
hear you.
So I was just saying, like the Bulls or any team, where it's a group effort to reach that income. I mean, the end. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna take a collective of people to get an outcome that we're looking for. It's not going to take one superstar. It's not no Superman. Ain't no. So it's going to take
All
each other.
hands on deck.
Right. It's going to take.
Yeah, all hands on deck. Everybody. It's like you got to remember, and this is what Rick Moon talks about a lot of time. You got to look to nature to learn, because that's what's going to teach you. Every animal does it, and we don't do it. We listen to what somebody else saying, and we all fucked up from that. So what does nature tell you to do? We live from that. And we've totally, and it's like what is saying, no grandma killer. That's what your grandmama come from. Them backwoods, that country shit, the earth.
Yeah.
That's where your grandma come from. And we totally just disrespecting, pull like Johnny was saying, other ideologies on top of that shit. Are you crazy?
Yeah, we crazy. Yeah, we crazy.
Are you crazy?
We crazy, man.
And this is why what Phoenix was saying earlier about ancient Negroes, you have brothers 60, 70, 80 years old. And once they get past a certain age, leave them motherfuckers alone. Because they're gonna keep putting that shit out there. You gotta learn in life. And these cats just saying bullshit. And when they find out it's bullshit, these youngsters are finding shit that they would never dream of thinking of. These youngsters are killing. And when you show these people this stuff,
crazy? You're absolutely right, Katie. You know what's so crazy? Because even with these foreign ideologies in the Bible, it said that God gave the earth to man. So man is to control every creature that walketh upon the earth, and these niggas don't understand. God ain't coming back, nigga. God, it says in the Bible, God gave the earth to man. He gave the seed of man, and man is to control every creature upon earth. But these niggas don't want to read the Bible. They want to listen to a preacher talk to them. And they want everybody to do things for them and tell them things instead of reading shit and figuring out, okay, this is some bullshit. Who's supposed to be ruling over me if God created this earth? Nobody is. They don't use critical thinking. They don't use it at all.
Speaking of which, there's a really tough situation going on in the state of Illinois right now. If we got a second, let me, there's some things that they can do about it, but will they do anything about it? The state of Illinois is implementing LBGTQ STUV in the school. So you can't leave the 8th grade and go to high school if you don't have that by the time you are in the 8th grade. So that's anywhere from kindergarten to the 8th grade to have those diversity types of courses that are included in the curriculum. Of course, that went into law today in the state of Illinois, and it's a statewide thing. But there's some things in the Constitution that people will not use and completely ignore to make sure that situation goes away. In the Illinois
Constitution, but first,
there will be things that will make that situation go away. Will the people say anything, or will they acquiesce and just be mad, Krabby Patty, saying, this, that, and then they'll take their kids out of school, and then they won't adequately teach them? Are they going to adequately teach them at home?
I think it's way past time that this is what I'm saying. We keep on that old bullshit. We don't have a way to educate our children by now. Goddamn. All these motherfuckers in education, we know the school is shit. Why do we keep sending our children there? That shit is on us. Goddamn. They're teaching them to be dummies. They taught you to be a dummy. And you would send your kid there and do it like my kid is the scholar at 52nd Elementary School. For real, cuz? And we keep doing that shit. That fucking school shit is bullshit. Everybody knows it, but we keep playing the game. And that's why we caught up.
Yeah.
Well, ain't school commerce? Ain't school commerce? Let's really think of. Can somebody pull up the definition of commerce in a legal definition? What is commerce? Ain't school commerce? It's a business. Ain't that a business?
That's all it is. It's not to
So
give you
we have a
real
say
true
so.
knowledge. It's not to give you true
If this
knowledge
shit
and true
is
education. It's just to pass you through and become another commercial subject or
exactly,
another
exactly.
basically
So
property of the state.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When we can understand fucking business, we can be able to regulate our own affairs. So if they're pushing this shit on you, well, it says in the laws that what Indians can do in commerce. So use your mind. Okay, this is what the state said. Okay, well, this is what the supreme laws of the land say. And not only that, it's against our religion to practice this type of what you want to call this? Cause I don't. Is it a religion? This shit that they pushing on our kids, this gay shit, or is it just some? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, Indians have a say so if they want their kids to participate in something like that or not. So use
Right.
critical thinking.
However, it's statewide law if they don't say anything.
Yeah. I don't know. This shit is crazy. But me
If they don't
personally,
do
I created affidavit. I created affidavit because it'll be like a legal document, and I will submit it to the school. I will use the laws of this land to support my claims, and my kid will not be going to no shit where scissoring and tug and pull jobs. My kid won't be watching that shit. Okay, so hey, that's how you handle that. That's how I would handle that.
Man, it's
So
sad.
I
As
think
a
that
It's so
community,
like
sad.
how you say handle it, I think that's a good way to do it, and it should be taught, in a kind of, and it keeps going back to what Phoenix said about that ancient shit that we taught. I think if you brought it in a more modern, I don't know how you would do it. I don't know how it would be done, where people can digest it, because I know here with that mask shit, it's a law in the books that says not to wear a mask when they were scared.
Uh-oh.
Oh
So,
shit.
I think if you put that in a way that people can digest it and understand it easy, it'll be great.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a way to do it, but re-say what you said though, Katie, because you had went in and out. Say what you were saying. It's a law where.
It's a law on the books. I can pull it up. I can pull it up and tell it to you. Uh, that it's against the law to wear masks, because in the 1940s, the Ku Klux Klans was scaring Negroes off the land and taking their land. So a law was passed saying not to wear a mask because it covers your face and stuff. I have the law. I'm gonna send the law to Phoenix right now. And this is we got to know this law stuff. And with this law stuff, we don't know it.
Send it to me. I'll pull it
Yeah.
up. Send it to me.
We don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So let me
We
send it to
have
Phoenix,
to
because I don't have.
I sent you the
And
link.
she
I was gonna
sent it
say
to
I
you.
sent you the link. Use the email where I sent you the link.
Okay. But yeah, man, shit. We're gonna have to do this ourselves. What we living now, what we thinking, and everybody sees this shit is death. They trying to
Yeah.
wipe us off. If you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you. The sister said something today about
I
abortion.
think that was under the
The
Americans with
sister said on the
Disabilities
record
Act.
stuff about abortions. And I have to tell them, like, you missing the point. She said since 1974, the Roe versus Wade, that like 43 black children have been killed from the abortion. And I'm like, you're miscalculating it, because those kids would have had kids, and those kids would have had kids. Now, how many lives do you get?
Wow, that's deep.
I'm
More
saying
than
they
just
wipe
that one
somebody
life.
off the planet, and you can't be around here
Yep.
confused and stupid. I don't know. They not playing. They not playing with you.
Yeah. Hey,
This
coach,
ain't no
if you
fucking
could,
joke, man.
I'm listening.
for all of us
This ain't
to
no
see,
fucking
can you pull
joke.
up that definition of commerce again?
Okay.
Hey, KD, look at this definition of commerce. So all this shit they look like, and like I said, this is not an attack on gays because I'm quite sure we all got some gays in our family. But you gay niggas need to put being Indian first. So that's putting your family first. That's putting yourself first before your sexual actions. So can somebody please read it on the screen for me, please? Commerce, and then see if it applies to what's going on. And I think what was it? Phoenix, Chicago, where they're trying to make the kids practice. I mean, learn scissoring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can somebody please read that?
The exchange of good products or any type of personal property, trade and traffic carried on between different people or states and its inhabitants, including not only the purchase, sale, and exchange of commodities, but also the instrumentalities, agencies, and means by which business is accomplished. You, the other part too, or just the yellow part?
No, no, oh, no. That was good. Just the highlighted part. So it's
Okay, yeah.
talking about trade,
Then when I see trade
traffic.
and traffic, it's like we trafficking and trading our own children throughout the school
Yes,
system.
indeed.
Like throughout the entire time
Mm-hmm.
from kindergarten to
Yes,
12th
indeed.
grade, we just trading and trafficking our own children.
Yep.
That's not
So
Yep.
when
good.
you see that law
Yep.
with the assembly, that ordinance that they're gonna enforce the teachings of the LGBTQ teaching, we trafficking our children to be subjected to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Voluntarily enrolling them in the school system, you know, subjecting them to regulations that'll enforce those teachings on them.
Copper K said we stuck
That's
at work,
correct.
so our kids stuck at school. It's a sad reality.
Mm.
It's
That
like we
too.
repeat the same cycle over and over and over,
Over
constantly.
and
Just what this definition say: trading and trafficking our own children every
That's
single
correct.
year, every semester.
that ain't
And
good.
when you get to the end of this sentence or this little paragraph, it also says agencies, business, with a school. Wouldn't that be
Okay.
classified as an agency or a business?
Oh, wait a
That's
minute.
exactly
The
what it is.
word transportation is carrying convict. Hold on, I'm gonna send you that word transportation that's in there also.
The
Mm-hmm.
transportation
So,
of persons and goods
Mm.
by air,
so
by
Phoenix,
Now,
land, or
now,
sea.
I just sent Phoenix that I want to share. I just because it was on the text phone, I didn't have to get off the computer and waste time. But Phoenix, I just sent you a piece, and if you could send that to Coach and you put that up, I want to show you. I'm going to show you how we're trained, and this is very important. Phoenix, if you can send that piece that I just sent you to Coach and you put it up, and keep this up, because this is how a lot of us we learn from this. We learn the stuff that we learn is not the shit we supposed to be knowing. It fucks us up. And this is when you keep saying we keep repeating ourselves, why do we keep repeating ourselves? I mean, goddamn. We don't ants learn. We keep doing the same old shit over and over and fucking over again.
Right.
KD, what's
Even
that?
even
What's
as
that saying? When a nigga keep repeating the same thing, what does that make that person? When they keep repeating the
insane,
same thing, don't they make you insane?
insanity.
I,
Thank you.
I think you see what's going. Everybody sees what's going on in these
Mm-hmm.
cities.
That's right.
These cities
So
get
the word
they get
transportation, the legal word for
yeah.
transportation, says the
Mhm.
removal of goods or persons from one place.
Hold on, Phoenix. Hold on, Phoenix. Do it
In,
again.
okay.
Do it again. We good. Come on.
And this is what we do every day: transport our kids to these schools.
The removal of goods or persons from one place to another by a carrier. In criminal law, a species of punishment consisting in removing the criminal from his own country to another, usually a penal colony, there to remain in exile for a prescribed period. These are how a lot of your founding fathers got here too. Transportation, exile for a prescribed period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is
Look
deep.
at
Like when you
look
look
at it
at the
good.
Yeah, that's why I leave it up
when
there
you
for a
look at the
minute.
when you look at the definition of these terms and you apply it and you look at how we apply it ourselves or the community applies it every day, it's like consent that we give to the corporation or to the school system.
Yep.
Like, all of this is just consent. Consensually
That's
transporting
exactly
our
what it
kids to their
is.
schools, consenting to trade and
Yeah.
traffic our kids to the schools.
That's right. That's
But
right.
see, when all a nigga want to do is be a trap star or a local liquor store hanging out ass nigga,
They get
and,
transported
and
too. They get transported
oh
too.
yeah,
From jail to court, from court to jail. They call them blank runs. Them folks get paid. They take them and have them in the cell all day at the courthouse. They don't see no judge. Then take them back to the jail. They get transported back and forth too.
and this
See,
is
that's what I
why
mean.
we gotta.
Like you guys,
How would you say?
you guys make it simple, funny. It's easy to understand.
Right.
Well, you got
Right.
to make sure everybody understand it.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers like the joke. Make that shit funny.
No, it ain't funny, but it
but
is. It is.
I mean, you
yeah,
got to
well,
because it'll be real depressing if you don't.
Right, right.
You don't find some kind of humor in it.
That's why somebody
well,
said comedians are real good to have because they're not biased when they're giving their delivery.
Right.
The
well,
truth
we
hurts.
got. Yeah, it do hurt, but it's funny because
I
for
think
so
that was
many years dumb shit. We've been letting dumb shit be cool. We've been letting no, not nigger shit with the er at the end. We've been letting nigger shit be cool. I
for
mean, we
too
gotta
long.
look. What's cool about going to jail? Going back and forth to jail. What's cool about that? For one, you ain't around women like that. You're around a bunch of niggas, and anybody who been in jail who ain't never went back to jail will tell you why it's not cool to go to jail. You around nothing but men. You take showers with men. You shit next to men. What's cool about that? You eat the worst food. What's cool about that? About exercising next to another nigga. What's cool about that? What's cool about another nigga seeing you naked in the showers? What's cool? What?
Well,
Let's really
you
talk
got to
about it. What's
look at
cool,
some
nigga?
people, but now you're dealing with mindset and um, PTS. I always mess that up. Post traumatic stress.
PTSD.
Yeah. You got brothers who get caught and don't have nowhere to stay, don't want to live in the street, and they figure, hey, I can get 3 hots in a cot. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be a burden to nobody, and that's how you get a lot of homeless people as well.
Well, them motherfuckers are still a burden because some people who do pay taxes gotta pay. So they still a burden on niggas. You're still a burden. You still a
Well,
burden. Get your shit
that's
together. Get you a
but you
skill. What's so hard about that?
but you have what indirect and direct effects there.
Yeah.
They're not
You're not
feeling
a
like
burden on your family, but you're a burden on the public.
right.
Nigga, get your
You're
shit
not a
together.
burden on your family. That's right. But you're a burden. Period. I'm still low,
That's right.
Macadon. I gotta stay close to this mic for some reason. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not right for other people to have to. Your mamas and daddies don't want to take care of you. Your family don't want to take care of your nothing ass. So now the people who do pay taxes got to take care of you and feed you and clothe you because jail niggas they get clothed. That's money. Niggas got to buy you soap, buy towels or whatever the fuck. That's money. Some niggas get razors to try to shave and all that. That's money. That's taxpayers' money. We shouldn't have to take care of your funky ass for whoever do pay taxes. Hey, look,
But
get these niggas out the way.
hold on though. But some folks now be working a regular job, doing what they got to do to take care of their family, get pulled over on the little humbug, and then boom, they done lost their gig, the whole nine, off a little quick traffic ticket or something. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
those are the people we got to fight for because they shouldn't even be getting traffic tickets for even traveling. Back in
right.
traveling to work, The niggas who's supposed to be monitorized is the people who driving buses and big
Man,
rigs
our time to
and
have a roadblock at 7 o'clock in the morning, right up the street from the factory that everybody work at. You hear me? That's how they get down.
that's crazy. And this is the shit we gotta fight and stop.
I tell you, you know what they did when all those police officers said, Phoenix. Oh, okay. What you say,
I'm here.
Phoenix? Oh, okay. But
Uh,
all those police officers in not Chicago, but Atlanta, that had quit or took a sick leave at the same time because Trump enacted that chokehold or whatever you call it. Do you know my city? The sheriff said we would take all y'all down here. We have no problem. Like they not can. They gonna do the way they been doing, the way they been conducting business. So it's just like it's like a win. A damn if you do it, damn if you don't. If you think about it, and that's how some of their mindsets is. Like, hey, I can't get out this rent. You got some folks that done tried, then they got jammed up, got out, then did something else to try to come up, then got jammed up again. Just having bad luck. They playing their cards wrong. Not, no types of knowledge or nothing, no type of trade or nothing. Just working from job to job, hoping to see if somebody gonna hire them.
Right.
Well,
It's either that or
this
stand
is
on
the
the
people we
corner
gotta
and
game
hustle.
up.
Huh?
I said this is the people we gotta reach out to and get them on this level of knowledge where they're not being taken advantage of, because this is what's going on. They're being taken advantage of because they don't have this type of information.
But I
Now, if
talked
they
to them
did have
every
this type
day
of
though, Mac.
information,
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to. They like, how is this gonna change my life right now? Like right now, right now. How's this gonna
Well,
change?
well,
it'll get them out the jams that they keep getting caught up in.
I talk to
mm-hmm,
people all the time.
mm-hmm,
Y'all know I'm running bar. Whole bunch of folks know how I talk, and it's some people are listen, some people are act, and then you got some people just like, man, y'all listen to that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't even listen. They won't even open up to hear nothing you have to say.
well, coach, if it's people that's like that, then they deserve to hear the saying, "You're going to jail now." So if niggas trying to give you information to help better your life and they ignore it, hey, brush your hands off. You did what you can do, and they deserve to hear that saying, "You're going to jail now." Okay, so that's
And
it.
these are the type of people that let passages get passed about the teachings of the LGBTQ um, teaching being by fifth grade. They have to be taught that because they don't want to learn any information to do anything to benefit themselves and family and
Mm-hmm.
society from being enforced. The
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQ teachings, because these are the people that feel like it don't benefit them. But if you would just listen, just take a couple of seconds to listen, you could do something about the LGBTQ being forced on a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 9-year-old children. But because you want to reject information, you feel like it don't benefit you. These are the moments where you can apply this information. If you were just willing to receive it. We
Yes,
have a lot
sir.
of people like that. Like that's a good bit of our community. A high percentage of people that
And then,
don't want to receive information, but yet they wondering why a lot of stuff is happening to them. Why is the corporation or so-called United States or Caucasians is able to enforce these type of things on our children? Because you don't want to listen when people is actually trying to give you knowledge and information. But
Mm-hmm.
but you stuck in the same position of just complaining about something, but yet every time somebody try to give you knowledge, you could apply
you
that
shoot
to
them
get
down.
yourself
That's
or
right.
family out of that situation of being, subjected to African-centered school system or the LGBTQ. Like this is all our children gonna be learning from now on is African slavery and gay people. If families don't take it upon themselves to either educate their own in a structured manner or as a community, you can create your own school system with your own bylaws and autonomously. if a group of people just decide to come together and decide we need to do something about this, we need to create our own school system. How hard is that?
Right.
If we want to do something about being taught gay people as our history or as our learning, we're gonna be taught African slaves, gay people, and you know mathematics
But
one
Well,
two
y'all
three.
see,
That's all.
why do I have to? Now that don't make no sense to me. That be blowing me. Why do? What's the point of teaching them the history of a preference? It's still a preference to me. I don't care what nobody say. I hope I'm not low, but I don't care what nobody say. That's a preference at the end of the day. That's what you choose to do, but that's not how you was born. So it's just crazy at the end of the
Well,
day.
that's for the LGBTQ to gain control over the society by implementing those type of teachings at an early age to that early age group. They can slowly have a hand over society. So we start taking over the schools, they can start taking over the rest of society. They
So
start taking over the
Right.
curriculum.
so you
That's their
saying
Right.
plan. That's basically what they're trying to start out. So they're
so
gonna
you
start it
saying
out in Illinois.
they put the Christianity in the schools, and then the Christianity they start taking the prayer and the Bible out the schools.
And
Uh-oh.
now they're trying to replace it with
And not
LGBTQ.
I
there
just
you
sent
go.
you.
There you go.
I just sent
That's what I was
you
trying to
the
say.
hmm
Illinois Constitution, Coach.
Huh?
I just sent the Illinois Constitution.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's the other one you sent. I have
And so
both of
look
them.
how fast Christianity swept through the school system. So if Christianity could have and that's basically still a crusade going on that never stopped. If Christianity could sweep through the school system, every state, look how it's just a matter of time before
Well,
LGBTQ does the same thing, to have the
again,
same effect on our children.
I got it.
the acquiescence is definitely upon the people to change that particular disconnect. The people think that they have no say in the matter, but they want all say in the matter. It is a certain amount of pressure that you have to apply, and what that pressure is, you feel the pressure, you feel it, and that's what it is. So I pulled up the Illinois Constitution. People need to be familiar with the Bill of Rights. We, the people of the state of Illinois, grateful to the Almighty God for the civil, political, and religious liberty which has permitted us to enjoy and seeking his blessing upon our endeavors in order to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of the people, maintain a representative and orderly government, eliminate poverty and inequality, assure legal, social, and economic justice, provide opportunity for the fullest development of the individual, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and secure the blessing of freedom and liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the state of Illinois. Now, listen to those list of things. That's just the preamble. That is not even the Bill of Rights. Does it sound like the people in Chicago are enjoying those benefits?
Nope.
hell
Can you
no.
scroll? Can you go back up to the preamble?
Like people in Illinois are forgetting that they are we the people, that they have these rights.
So I need to know, where are they doing this in Illinois? The people grateful. Okay, so let's get provide for health. So there's a lot of dead people that just passed away between Father's Day weekend and now. So I would say that they failed to protect the health concerns of the overwhelming penchant for violence in these specific neighborhoods, um, in order to provide for health, safety, and welfare. So how is the children that are driving around in the car with their mother minding their business and they get hit by stray bullets, how are they safe? So when these things happen, everybody is mad. They don't get the results they want. And certainly they fall by the wayside, because it is a constitutional issue when your child is slain because they are not, the state is neglecting to protect you, your health, your safety, and your welfare. People don't argue that. They will complain, or hire down, what's his name, Al Sharpton or Benjamin Crump or something like that, and then sit there Black Lives Matter is not going to go and do anything when something like that happens. So even when it's black on black crime, the mother is generally just stuck having to be around the same people that possibly did that, because there's no one that's going to tell the police the truth. So she's not going to get any justice. But when they have their hands wrapped around a brother's neck, or some person's neck, then it becomes a serious issue where Black Lives Matter shows up in all these wonderful numbers, and somehow a gay agenda is pushed in the insertion of that, in the interim of that. So here it is. There are plenty of people in poverty. In the city of Chicago alone, they just raised the minimum wage to $14 an hour, and by July 1st, 2021, it'll be $15. That's still not going to eliminate poverty in the rest of the state. So people there, you have a grievance there. This is all in the preamble. We haven't even got into any of the Bill of Rights, poverty and inequality. There's some people that feel unequal in the city. They're all sectioned off. White people here, this is here, this is here. And nobody's complaining anything about that, except when they want equality when something happens at the hands of a police officer. So then you also have assured legal, social, and economic. Now, what is the crime rate? How many unlawful arrests do they make where they target kids and they find a reason to arrest them, find a reason to lock them up, and they're being harassed and chased around their own goddamn neighborhood? It's up to the parent to have something from this preamble that represents whatever their grievance is. So if they're chasing your shorties all around the neighborhood, this is something that you might want to argue. It's clear and to the point that the state is not protecting your son against the rogue police officers or against the school district, against the agencies. That's what this is for. This is to protect you from the big bad ass government that has now gotten out of control. There hasn't been a nigga on the planet besides me and a couple of others that have actually used this and know damn well this is what we were supposed to be doing the entire damn time.
Now, Phoenix, quick question: Have you ever heard Black Lives Matter tell the people about their constitutional rights?
Absolutely not. Nothing. No.
They don't
Never.
even
What
mention
about
the
the Nation of
Constitution.
Islam?
Never.
All
Never.
these
They make
Anti-Constitution.
yeah,
they
that's
make
what
you
I'm saying.
anti-government
They
so you can get your ass
anti-government.
kicked.
You goddamn right.
We've
Yeah,
never
They're
understood
absolutely right.
anti-rights.
We've never understood that. And it's a whole new regime now.
Anti-rights and pro-blame. That's all, Black Lives Matter and the Nation of Islam do. Pro-blame,
Right.
anti-rights.
That's correct. That's correct. That's pretty much what I know to be true. But all of these things right here available in the preamble. We didn't even get to the regular bill. Guarantee that every other person of color in Chicago is having their rights violated some way, and they're just walking around mad with a pistol, maybe even two, and they're mad with a pistol and two, and they don't give a goddamn, and the vicious cycle just carries on and continues. So all men by nature are free and independent and have certain inherent and inalienable rights, among which are life. Life. Don't they take a lot of lives in Chicago?
Like they taking
So
candy. They taking lives like they taking candy.
take a lot of lives out
Yep.
there. So what is the state doing to make sure that people's lives are protected? They're
Nothing.
It's like
capitalizing off of people's
they
lives.
used to being in custody. So it's like black people are so used to having politicians do these things for them instead of them
Right,
implementing it themselves. So
right.
they don't
And it's
But
know
that's
gotten
No,
what a
they used
preamble
to
is.
it's
implement them
gotten so
themselves.
far out of control that the lawyers, the politicians themselves are just going with the status quo. They're not following the law. They don't know it. So this is why I call this Reconstruction Era Part 2, because we are also going to be teaching them what they wrote down. Not because that's how we feel. That's what they say. They don't even know what it says. They just know what they've been doing for the last X amount of time. So it's
but you
going to
know
be
what?
teaching them as well. They're not expecting you to know your rights. They're not expecting you to know the law.
We have to
Oh, you got me. Yeah,
differentiate.
that's what you do.
Okay, so what the next step we have to do now? So now that we are differentiating between who is Indian and who is not, we also have to differentiate between people and citizens, because the citizens have to vote for someone to do things for them, right?
Right.
And with
Right.
these citizens, are these citizens entitled to the Constitution, or are these citizens entitled to what's going on in these civil rights? So now we have to, in the next bill we do, now we have to show the people and break down, okay, the difference. We have to now at this point, because we got a lot of foreigners coming over here, and they've been benefiting for a lot of shit, but they're not entitled to the Constitution and the laws that's entitled to us as the people, as the Indians. So that's another bill we would have to do as well too.
Right. That's right. That's right. So you have, but all of these things, and this is just, nobody in Illinois knows what is there to protect them, and it's right there in their face. So when it looks really crazy, it looks really retarded, and this is why it appears that, I don't know, maybe white people aren't listening to what you're talking about. They are listening to what you're talking about. They want to know, what do you want them to do, because you don't know what to do. And any clerk in any office will tell you, honey, I can't give you legal advice. 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 What does that mean? That means there's something that you should know.
Hmm.
Even filling
Right.
out an application, even filling out a complaint, there's some things that you should know.
When they say that, you know it's something you need to know.
Yeah.
And purposely not telling.
Yeah, and they know it. They like, okay,
And
you.
that's right.
When they tell you
It is
that,
in their contract that they can't say anything. They're not allowed to give you legal advice. So if you're going to do anything, change a deed or correct a deed, if you make a mistake, that is your mistake. They cannot advise you on what's the best way to do it. They
unless
can't
you,
advise you.
I
So
bet you it's their
if you
best
want like
friend or
the
somebody
aerial
that'll
space,
do
if
it.
you say, hey, should I get the aerial space or should I get the mineral rights? They're gonna say, I don't know, ma'am. They're not going to give you any answer. So
So how do
it's
we
not where
change
you're
it?
gonna find any answers.
So how do we push the narrative of truth that we're already pushing on a larger scale?
Um, well, I think this tour is gonna be pretty helpful. Being out, being accessible, being able to engage with different people in their prospective places, and then being able to go into the smaller, hard to reach places as well. I think it's catching on pretty quickly. I think people are getting it. Even Donald Trump, why would he have to tell black people, you need to do your history, find out your history? Well, why would any
Yeah.
racist man tell you a whole bunch of African slaves, right, to find their history if it ain't gonna be there?
I got one for you.
Nobody said, oh, he told us to find our history. You notice they were mad. He told them other immigrants stay in their shit whole country, but he makes a special address to them and says to them, hey, you guys, y'all need to find your damn history. Nothing. Crickets.
So
They're not even mad that he made that comment, but
mhm.
every other comment that didn't concern them, oh, they were all over it. Oh, he told them people
He
from them
wasn't the
shit
only
whole
person,
country.
Phoenix, that made that comment. Um,
Right.
you remember when the ADOS went to Washington D.C. with I think Danny Glover and some other folks went down there. I think Candace Owens was there, and I don't know, not the speaker, but some guy that was sitting up in there, up on the panel, asking them questions when they come up. He was telling them then, y'all need to go do more history. You got to do your history. You don't know. He
Mm,
said you don't know your history. That's what he was telling them. He said you don't know your history.
right.
You don't know your history.
Hmm.
Right. That's
Well,
right.
what's gonna be? But see, when you say it like that, though, go do your history or go learn history. You got to be specific. A lot of niggas be like, man, history. Man, I learned that shit in school. Man, what you niggas
They
talking about?
do
So
all this
And that's how they get tuned
genealogy,
out. That's how they get tuned out
genealogy,
quick.
motherfucker. Yeah,
Well,
we got to be specific. Genealogy, motherfucker. That way, you could go back as far as you could go back, and you could see your people owned the land here. Your people
Yeah.
belong to a tribe or a nation. So that's the history that they're talking about. Genealogy, personal history. Who's your mama? Who's your daddy? Who's their mamas and daddies? Who's their mamas and daddies? Who's their mamas and daddies? Genealogy. We got to be specific and hit home with that shit. Genealogy. Study self. Study self, motherfucker. Study self.
mm,
Study your family
That's
history,
right.
and you have all the answers in that search of what you need to
That's
do
right.
to create a better environment for your family and community.
that's right.
That's right.
Well, y'all touching on some stuff.
There is absolutely
Everything leads
nothing.
back to grandma. I don't care what nobody say.
Grandma,
It
grandpa,
does. Like
and I
every
know
every solution, every
people take
solution
great
ties back to
bias to
grandma.
that. People take great bias to that, and I want to explain why. It don't say it. We're not saying it as if grandpa isn't important. But in colonial times, the condition of your mother, even till this day, if you look at any nationality, part for a nationality, I think it's Title 5 in the U.S. Code, and it tells you that whatever the mother is, that's the nationality of the child. It's been like that through colonial law, through the indigenous families. It was passed down through the mother. Again, we talked about a little bit last night on how the men married into the women's family. He became into their industry. So if my father is a shoemaker, then essentially my husband is going to take over my father's family business. That's generally how it goes. My brother would marry into another woman's family, and he would go into that family's business. That is the traditional way that the ancestors did it. So when they say mothers, maybe generally the women were free women of color and the men were enslaved. So again, when people don't know that, they don't understand the institution of slavery, because it was also a member of a male having a felony. Whether he was guilty or not, they find people guilty and they didn't do a damn thing, and they end up getting forever in jail. And then 34 years later, they let them out or exonerate them, or something awful like that happens, that they do that to people. But this is something that they've been doing back then. So, with that being said, that is why your nationality is established by your mother. So, if as an American Indian woman, any child that I have, the nationality is going to be attached to me. And the same thing for that's anywhere in the world. It's always been like that, aside from like Muslim countries where patriarchy, it may be through the father. But outside of that, that's what it was.
All right, all right. I just seen Doodoo hit the scene. What's up, Doodoo? Just seen I
Carlito.
just sent you brothers a link to VMix. When one of you figure out which one of you jump on, I'll send another link out so another one of you can jump on. How you doing over there, Mr. Davis? You doing all right?
Yeah, man, I'm doing well. I'm just listening to everybody, man, and like I'm saying, all this stuff, you see, you're gonna have to get to the point where you have your own court system because you can't find no justice in theirs. And
Right.
we have to
Right,
stop playing with it. And the reason it keeps
right,
going on because we keep putting faith, confidence, and trying to fuck their laws. They come on, they don't work. So
yeah,
you're gonna have to behave yourself where you live and come up with your own shit because you have the right to do that. Why aren't they paying you taxes?
So you saying almost
See, this
like
is shit
chop,
we don't even talk about.
right?
These people were in your house. Why are they, so let's go ahead and say that we slaves still. Don't run away from it because I can't come to your house and make you pay me shit. But these people
that's
can
right,
come over here on your mama, your grandmama's land and do whatever the fuck they want. And you cool with it. You don't have a
that's right.
problem. So,
Mm.
but you rather fuck me up, bullshit me,
Mm,
lie and all that other dumb shit that you do. Come on, y'all. And
that's
if this
right.
is, if this is how we're going out, we look like little hoes, especially the men.
Mm.
So
Talk that
you guys
shit.
Well,
are
Talk that shit.
if most of the men
way
is
ahead
in
of
jail, they running a
control.
mass defemination. All these men are turning gay. So then, and then, yes, the men is is like scarce around this mug right now. It's like
Yeah, they doing grip it. Say it for what it is, coach. Say it. They learning the grip and pull method with their lips. Say it just like that. The niggas is out here gripping and pulling with their lips and hands. Just say, be honest, coach. You can be honest. Can be honest. Niggas is doing the grip and pull method with their lips. The women is doing the scissoring. Be real. Just call it for what it is, man.
boy, you
Call it for
tough,
what it
boy, you
is.
tough. But that's what it is. It's sad. It's sad. Hey,
So
Mac,
look, man, you guys are you doing the right thing. This is an old Spike Lee movie. You know, in the kind of culture we pick up stuff, since we don't get it all the time, little pieces slip through. Like Spike Lee came out with a movie called "Do the Right Thing."
Right.
It doesn't matter if you think the movie is good, whatever. Your personal opinion of the movie doesn't fucking matter. It's what was said. Here I come, dude. It was what was said, and the brother was saying, "Do the right thing," and you guys are doing the right thing, and it looks good. So listen, I got to get out of here.
thanks for
I
stopping
appreciate
back.
you guys. I appreciate your time. See you this weekend, and please play some funk. Come on, have some funk going.
Oh, you know we're gonna have that funk rolling. You already know.
All right, brother.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm gonna see you guys in a little later.
All right, Mr. Davis.
Yes.
All right, KD.
See you soon.
Let me see.
Yeah, so yeah, beloveds. Again, super excited. We'll see Mr. Davis this weekend. I'm waiting for good brother Zulu Vision to come through. I think we have Bones in the background as well waiting.
I sent
I
Bones the
know
link
Cousin
already.
Spirit Wolf is out there somewhere. Him and Chief Cali. I hope they stop through. So, wherever it is that you are, and what's going on in Illinois certainly doesn't always affect what's going on in New York or even Kentucky or even Indiana. They're really tough on people in Indiana. Whatever the oppressive conditions are there, you need to check your constitution before it gets out of control. Such as like the Jamaican Constitution. That Constitution is like so far gone. It's completely democratic, and they have no way of identifying who is in charge, if they're still part of a monarch or not, or if they're truly independent, which they're not because it mentions monarch. They still sing the Queen's song. So there's a lot of misconceptions about what independence is, and what type of freedoms and liberties that people have. And one thing that I've noticed, particularly through genealogy in the Caribbean, is the fact that the foreigners have come there after slavery, after the Indians were already emancipated, and they have taken over the political parties. It's the same thing. If you look up the PIC or the PIC party in Cuba, you will notice, and the United States helped Cuba at this time also with that particular war against the Spanish in the 1890s. But if you look and see that party that was established, it was all of the people that came to colonize that ended up establishing that political party that ended up controlling Cuba against the natural people. So this is what's happened in all of these prospective nations where now they're completely whitewashed and you can't identify who the indigenous people are.
Mm, 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 mm. Hell, a lot of them can't even identify who they are because shit, they done lost their ways. They didn't stop communicating. I know a few people that live in these islands, and they say it's hard for them to get their family records because there's other people of color that's not original to those lands stopping them from getting it. That's
That's right.
tough.
That's right. And
And the
they
same
haven't been
shit is
able to
happening here.
themselves. Their identities too have also been changed. They're calling themselves Hispanic. They're calling themselves Latino, and there's no such thing. Certainly, of course, when a man from Spain comes here, he's free white people. He is not a Spanish man. He may be Castilian in ethnicity. However, he is a white person. The same thing with someone Egyptian, like Kamala Harris. This is like a different type of Barack Obama. Kamala Harris is not a black woman, a black American woman, or an American Indian. She's not. So I think people are going to get confused with that, and use that
Hmm.
to catapult her into a success that she doesn't need when she's been having an all-out assault on people of color during all of her tenure in California. So she's not very well received, and I think that that was dope how they just handed the election over. So yeah, Joe
Yeah, ain't
Biden
nobody
and
finna vote
Kamala.
for them.
Yeah, they just gave it up. Gave it up. So, this is what I wanted to hit y'all with. We was talking about yesterday about right back to the post traumatic stress disorder. I talked to the doctor,
Yes, right.
and he was saying like he was explaining that you got to build your case to be able to even say that a child has PTSD from watching people getting their brains blown out and different things like that. And like I said earlier, he said it wouldn't be a good idea because only police and the army are the ones that's being treated for PTSD. But then he said it wouldn't be a good idea because of the medication that they would put on the children. And you would have a lot of children, especially what's going on in Chicago right now. You would have a lot of children who would be messed up from the medications that they would give them from the PTSD. So we have to come up with an alternative for the children in Chicago and try to figure out a way to combat all the bad things they've seen, especially these last couple
Well,
of years.
again, that goes back to the Constitution that does not indicate that medicine has to be prescribed. And again, that would be against their constitutional rights to life and liberty. You can't live free if you can't think on your own. So if that medication causes those, that is against his rights. He has rights too. And then he also has civil
You are
rights.
correct. That's correct.
And then he has rights as a U.S. citizen.
That's correct.
So
That is correct.
there's three
You and
different
Coach
levels
hit the
of
nail on the head.
protections available at each state, at each level. So you have your state constitution, which limits what the city, state, and local governments can do to the citizen. You have the U.S. Constitution that limits what states can do to the citizen. Then you have the civil rights that limits what can be done to an Indian. And of course, now we're going to have to take some other action because it includes a whole bunch of other LGBTQRSTUVs. When the Indian has never been able to exercise it because he's been running around calling himself black, African American, and everything else as he cries the hymns of disparity and defeatism. The answer's right
Interesting.
here in the face. And we're looking to bring forward the answers because these people clearly they need them and they don't see that there's any available. And the one that they pay homage to doesn't provide these things. This is necessary, and it has to happen. It's something that if it's as detrimental as people say it is as far as their oppression is concerned, they should not limit themselves from being able to save themselves and protect themselves to the best of their ability. So, a lot of people say, I'll do anything for my kids. Will you study for 10 hours and read the Constitution? Make sure your kids are aware. Will you do that? Do you love them that much or just enough to buy them Jordans and stuff?
Trying to show off through the chilling. My baby stay fresh. Don't know nothing. But he fresh though. That boy don't know nothing. What up, Bones? I just seen Bones.
Alita, I think I
Mic
seen
check.
the original STV. I thought I saw the original OG.
Yeah, it's Bones.
Oh,
What
what's up,
up?
Bones?
Greetings, everyone. Not much. How everybody doing this evening?
Peace.
Everything is healthy, good
Right, how
brother.
you
Everything
doing?
is healthy.
Keeping it pushing, big homie. Keeping it pushing.
Everything good?
Trying to
This
get up through there.
Yes, it is.
this fiction is on real quick. Like 1 minute.
Okay. Yep, trying to carry in the road. Everybody be like, "What's up, coach?" Keeping it in the road. But yeah, y'all touched on a lot of key things. I'm just trying to figure out, like you say, you read the answer, but it still ain't. I need it in lame terms. I need to be able to explain it in lame terms. I kind of got it. I got the answer, but I'm trying to. I like to give it
I
like,
think it's a matter of how do we enforce it. That's what a lot of people
yeah,
would be wondering.
right.
How do we enforce, that particular passage in the Bill of Rights for the state of Illinois?
Mm.
Well,
What
sometimes it
capacity?
could be as simple. It could be as simple as a memorandum of law. You have to know when it's your time to say something, especially if you're being accused of something. If you are uncertain of what the procedure is, um, okay, hold on one second. Let me just show you the source of something. Uh,
Gotta know the procedure and all. Let's see what we got. Lloyd Carter, Doodoo. Hey. Michael Brown, Harris Cheek. What's good? What's good? Davita Bantan. What's up, Bantan? Bantan. Macadon was good. Run Joe says we have no laws in enemy territory. Oh, but this ain't enemy territory. Shit, that man, ain't nothing but the landlord, Chief Netcher. Hey man, where y'all at? I need to send y'all boys a link. Get y'all in here real quick before I get too late. Y'all know it's almost close to my bedtime. The night of,
okay,
come on.
here it is. Let me see.
Well, I had Tasha. I can't get it in for some reason.
I'm still here. I just didn't see a
Oh,
point to talk.
what's up?
Everybody was talking. Halito, yeah, I didn't see
Alito.
anywhere I could
Oh,
jump in.
tonight. You scared me just
So you was there
then.
the whole time.
Yeah, I kept going in and
Greetings,
out because
Sasha.
the mic wasn't working. How you doing?
She was being the fly on the wall, just listening.
No complaints, no complaints. But they're saying when you do, nobody listen.
Mm, I ain't got nothing to complain about right now. Yeah, I do complain, but I ain't about to go there. Um, everything good with you, Tasha?
Yeah, everything's good.
You wanted to add anything that you heard thus far?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Look, Joe
Oh,
47 said you scared
I
him
know y'all
too.
was talking on the
Go ahead,
y'all
Bones.
was talking on the good one earlier. Y'all was talking on
Yeah,
it
y'all was
earlier
doing
when y'all
good.
was talking about the school system.
Right.
And the funny thing about it, when you look at it, and I was typing it in the chat, a lot of it started with sex ed in school, and that's
Yeah.
started pushing on our children by teaching the sexuality in school. Now you have to ask yourself, what gives a teacher that don't look like you, that don't come from your walk of life, the privilege and the right to teach your child about sexuality? That need to be left in the home, not to the schools.
Well,
mm.
when they started talking about
And
that
the
stuff,
question,
you was really curious, like, I'm about to give me some yams. I think I had a baby that same year. My first year of sex ed, I think I had a child. I'm serious.
but to answer the question, starting the school, believe it or not, brothers and sisters, it's not that hard to start our own school. Same technology that we're using right to have this conversation is the same technology that they've been running all schools across the United States for the last couple of years.
Well, hey, Bones, that's what they did. They sent out the kids go to school August the I think 6th, 9th, somewhere in there. And they gave all everybody a pass. If you don't want your child at school, No problem. You can teach his ass at home. We give him a book, and he can just one of them notebooks, and he can work from home. So now they're giving parents the option to keep their kids at home.
Yeah, you can push it further. Brother James Doodle Vision, he helped me here in Tifton with one of the neighbors to own a daycare. And what we were able to do was able to create an itinerary for teaching students to where basically they're running a school from my house now. The children will have credits for school. They can go to everything from going to home school. Because come to find out, they only got four base subjects that they want you to teach the children. Outside of that, it's on you what you want to teach them.
Well, they don't need none of that. They don't need none of that. Let them just grow natural. Just let it flow. Let it flow.
And the sweet thing, the 4 is just math, writing, reading, and science.
Hold on, yo.
Everything else is on you.
It's on you, baby. That's facts. That's facts. Yep. These schools is they working a fast one. Cartoons done already did that. But we talking about the LGBTQ. They done already done explain it to these kids on the Cartoon Network and all these other cartoon networks. They be having somebody in every one of them now. So they done about had their way everywhere, especially in the media. And coming to a home near you, head ass. I ain't got time for it.
Yeah, they were running
And that's where they
commercials all
start.
Pride Month.
What you say,
They were
Tasha?
running commercials. They
Yeah.
were running commercials on Nickelodeon, all the Nickelodeon channels, and the Cartoon Network on Pride Month last month. And you got to explain to your kids what is this? Then they're slipping characters. There's a one show called Craig of the Creek, and they have no, not that one. It's called Loud House. So it's a bunch of like European kids. Don't bring that up, okay? What they need to know. Don't bring that up. And the only male. Don't bring that up. Okay, calm down.
He like, don't do that.
That's the whole point. I gotta explain to him about it. But the only melanated character is a boy. And the boys. Don't bring that.
He don't want to hear
He
that.
don't want you to even bring it up. Yeah.
No, but
Even
the
the child
boys.
knows something wrong with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 dads on there. That's the problem.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
So you gotta explain that to your kids.
I need the sound effect. Womp, 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 womp.
Well, y'all know that's the battle. The battle right there was never for the adults. You don't want adults. You program children. Because once you program children, children eventually have families and they teach their children the same BS. And children teach their children the next children the same BS. The fight has never been for adults. It's for children. They get them by the age of 3. And by the time they get them, think about it. We send them to their schools. They're with teachers that don't look like them for 8+ hours, 5 days a week. What do you think is going to happen?
It's getting. Man, this is crazy. I remember when I went to school, we got our behind kicks. We used to get paddled. They used to beat us with the stick.
I'm going to have to let y'all go, y'all.
All right,
I appreciate having this build. I'm going to continue this discussion with y'all Friday at the event. Appreciate y'all having me on. I can't wait.
Yes, indeed. Can't wait to see you. Peace out, you good brother. Take care.
All right.
All right, peace. All right. So, but yeah, I've been through all that. But you look at how the school just changed. We had prayer in school. They used to do all types of stuff in school, and now these kids go to school. They get a little MacBook. A little notebook, and they just chill and do what they want all day. They don't do nothing, and they just push them right on through school. Ain't learned nothing.
But ask yourself, what is school? School is industrial. School directly tied to the workforce. If you look at went to school, assembly were the main jobs. That's why we went to school the way we went to. The generation after us and this generation, all the jobs are online. Why do you think they got computers in the classroom? They're putting the computer in their face so they can even understand language. That's the job of the field, working online. School is tied. It's matter of fact, if you look up industrial, you're going to see school.
Mm.
Under the definition of industrial, there's schools.
That's right. Mm.
So we just all in a shithole.
Everything is we done slid down what you call it, the razor blade mountain that landed in the alcohol river.
What he say? He scared he put us in that fiery furnace. Well, we in that motherfucker.
We have ways to get out of it, though. It's a matter of, do the people want to get out of it?
Oh, yes, there are.
But do they want, do they want to get out of it? There's solutions. We know solutions. We haven't applied the solutions. Solutions are applied, the problems go away. It's going to be a learning experience for everyone. They don't know that they're doing things wrong. They don't know what it is wrong that they're doing. We have to show them. You got to show them.
We got to show them. No medication
show and tell.
Therapy does help to talk about it.
You have never seen results like it. And not for nothing, it's a look that they give you that I really want. In all my heart's desires, I really want men of color to see that look in his face when he got to bow down. When he has to bow down, you need that. I want you to have that feeling so that you never take your crown off again. Never take it off again. This is your house. I want you to see the judge get all beat red in the face and everybody that was disrespecting you and talking all. So like, do you want a Pepsi? You won't be here much longer. It'll be about another 5 minutes and we'll have you out of here. Okay, thank you.
You want a Pepsi?
That part. Y'all mentioned it before. Even how many of our people don't even know that President Donald Trump has increased funding to our community? And the problem is we just don't use it.
Right. I don't think that.
They just dropped another.
They're not interested in what he does. They're more interested in what he says. I don't know why.
Right,
But it's
and that's
have
the news, though. They're brainwashed by the news.
But that's the problem.
They worship the news. Mm-hmm.
It's very
the news
difficult.
don't tell you. The news show you clips. Want you to see that happen behind the scene, and that's not the full speech, and that's not what's really being said. They're cutting up bits and pieces, create a narrative.
They do that a lot. They chop his video up a lot. Mm-hmm.
I'm in meetings personally with Brother James. The policies that this president put on the table, you'll be surprised that they're throwing funding. I heard the woman say herself, tell everybody in your community before time is up, use these programs, use this funding, or somebody else is going to use it.
Right.
When someone uses it, it's in their best interest. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we got to start networking. We got to start helping each other achieve the goals that we want to achieve. Because everybody else, every other community does that. Like, I'm from the suburbs and I see them help each other. We don't do that. If they like, oh, Bob, you want to fly planes? I'm going to help you find a way to get your pilot's license. I know this and that, and I know they got this and that grant, and you can call this number and they'll help you. But we don't do that. We got like crabs in a barrel for a lot of people. And once we know something, we're like, oh, this has got to be a secret. We can't tell anybody because we don't want anybody.
Gotta go high.
Yeah, we want to get paid and we don't want nobody else.
Oh, man. You ask somebody where they get their shoes from and they look at you crazy. Oh, I don't remember. I've been had these. They don't even want to tell you.
Yeah. Down here. Yeah, that's how they used to be in high school. Like,
y'all know it's sad. What makes it sad is this. You know you can still make finances, but treat it as a service. And let me explain like this. Do you think Walmart make the majority of their money from owning this buying their products? No. The majority of their money come from because they put a Walmart in urban and the government pays them every month for servicing our community. Do you know by doing this, that's what opens you up to the funding? By making it that's why everyone comes to our it opens up a shop. Everybody has a business around us because they're getting paid to service the American Indian. And we're saying is what happens when we own the entities, we own the companies, we start running locally and we sit in seats. All we're doing is controlling our own futures instead of letting someone else tell us what we can't do.
Right. And that's what we got to do. We got to include that in the whole buy the block movement. Everybody's like flipping houses and stuff, but they're not buying the stores where we're getting disrespected at every day. That needs to be a priority that we buy the businesses, like you said, and try to take advantage of that funding.
Facts. I
That's
mean,
big.
like
And meanwhile,
opportunity zones.
That's big facts.
meanwhile,
Them
while
big,
we
big
have the
facts.
time to do that, we have this president that is holding off a lot of immigrants so that we are supposed to be acting during this window of time, right? So it doesn't pass us by. A lot of the things that Trump has mentioned that are beneficial, it comes and it goes, and then people don't even notice what he did, so he can't get any accolades for it. And then when he does all this, what they see as boasting and stuff, he's proud of his work, as he should be, because he's actually working. So I don't think he's getting the fair press. I certainly
Yep.
don't think that people are being objective about it. I think everything is very biased. And antipathetic, and it speaks a lot of volumes. And again, you're not going to hear, even when they go back to church, there's not going to be a bunch of conversations about it because they are not allowed to speak about that. Even though there is totally politics in the Bible, and maybe one day we'll do the build where they talk about politics. They speak about the census, everything it is that we are dealing with. There is a parallel to it in real life, real time, and I think people miss the mark, or maybe they're attached to the dogma and they're unable to utilize it for what it's worth, and able to, to be able to apply civics and have a basic understanding. I think the dogma completely gets into the way of it, but think of it as a different type of law dictionary, because there's those words in the Bible, and they also translate, just like legal words translate into different things that you may not be aware of. For instance, the legal word for family, it isn't relative. That would be the regular dictionary, or to that, but the word family means a house full of servants, if you look at the etymology of it.
Yep.
So these words
Yep.
also came out at a different time, when they were doing commercial practices. So if you look up the legal word for parent, that is a commercial word. So if CPS ever comes to your
Yep.
house and they ask you, did you ever have a natural childbirth? And if you answer that, that means that you had a bastard child out of wedlock.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
You have to
Yeah.
know the
And the
terminology.
Quran,
You have to know the
yeah,
terminology.
Super crazy.
and the Quran has similar laws, like you were saying, and a lot of the Arab
Right,
countries and stuff, their laws are
right.
based on the Quran. So
And
we got these law
I don't
books
wanna-
in our possession that people are not taking advantage of, and they're
that's right.
treating it
And
like a
that is
religion, and that's the
it's
problem.
the universal law. So even in the Quran, it talks about guarantors and sureties, which shows you how to not be
Yep.
enslaved. There was always a bond on a slave. There was insurance on a slave. There was all of these things. So even the Quran does speak
Right.
about it. And in fact, I think that the Quran may be easier to follow as far as the law is concerned when you take out the dogma. And I say that because they go
Well,
from
that's
I to
what it's
we
based
to
on.
us. Right,
Right. It's based
right.
on,
It's one
and
Yeah.
they have
person.
It's
specific
based on
laws to
law.
protect. Yeah, they have specific laws to help the
So
women, the children, and the elders because at those times
But what
people
if
are
I
getting
told
abused. They
you
want.
every president had a Quran on their desk in the White House? That's actual.
right,
Benjamin
right.
Franklin walked around with one.
Right.
Queen Elizabeth
Right, that's
has one
Thomas
too.
Jefferson's
Uh,
quote. Yeah,
Now, also think
Thomas
about it. They were
Jefferson's.
also getting caught in the Barbary Corsair Wars, so that may have been a personal thing too that he was holding on to. Might have been a trinket from somebody who they
Mm-hmm.
captured from when they stole those kidnapped the 20+ Americans over there in the Barbary Corsair War. So it's a lot of that might be something that
Oh,
we can
Well,
follow up on a little forensic mystery buster. We
you
may
mentioned
be able
something
to.
a minute ago.
yeah. I think it was Benjamin Franklin though that was a slave over there. It was
Right.
one of the presidents was a slave over there, and that's why.
And you always wonder what their names were, but I know he was French. You can identify him as French because his name was Franklin. So that may even be German, though, because the Frankfurt, Germany is the capital, and they were really the Franks were the original tribal inhabitants over there. So
Friend.
yeah,
Yeah. But I wanted to touch on something that you mentioned about the father real quick. A lot of people misunderstand that a 501c3 isn't a business, just a tax status. That's it. A 501 isn't an entity, it's a tax status. Matter of fact, you have to deal with the rest just to get status. And like before, there's over 29 of them. And a 401c5, 6 can be involved in politics. Matter of fact, they spend up to 9.9% of all money they took in towards any candidate or any election. And they have unlimited amount of money that they can bring in. So also, I just say that to show that we can manipulate elections for our benefit, for our own candidates by in our own institutions and us. And it's like before, if you step up, that's what everyone else doing. While we're too busy trying to attack it as individuals, everyone is attacking it as an institution. Because again, business corporations are people who have to understand what that means. A corporation is represented like an individual. A corporation has say-so on the census. A corporation has say-so towards elections. It's a collection of a body of people. It's something, again, that as communities, we have to start researching, realize how we can use it to benefit our situations.
Right.
yeah, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do on various different levels and multiple places. And I think it has to be like a shock and awe thing. The organization. Um, what I mean by that is just being able to be active in their respective countries and knowing how to position themselves where they're not dealing with oppression. I think these civics courses are certainly going to be helpful. People do not understand what their obligations are civically, and that can also infringe on others' rights. There's been some draconian laws that have been assigned, and I would just implore that people actually see for themselves and don't just leave it up to people to tell you what's going on that may or may not affect your freedom, your life, or liberty, or even your health for that matter, because you be put in certain situations and that shit can stress you out, have your hairline receding, or give you heart trouble, or constipation, whatever. But it's not a good thing to be able to be walking around your own land with all that baggage and stuff, and then especially to think that there's nothing that will ever happen that will change what it is that's happening to you. You end up holding a grudge against your own land and don't really know how to place yourself in a narrative. You become an outsider. So at the point, if you are tired of being an outsider in terms of one that is least likely to be respected, then it is probably best that you position yourself and weaponize yourself with the truth. And don't look for anyone else to do it for you. Would be in your best interest that you pick up different tools that'll help you to protect yourself, especially if you are having serious concerns with your government, whether it be the U.S. government or it is the state or local. Now you know where you can go to find out how to fix that. The constitutions are pretty much in very much layman's terms, so you don't have to be a great rocket scientist or anything like that. But when you do with the codes and stuff like that, statutes and codes, it could be definitely a bunch of legal jargon and nonsense that doesn't even apply to you, but they make it sound really good. And because you agree to it, you now have entered into a contract, which somebody's going to have to fulfill it, and it's probably going to be you. So keep that in mind.
Everything's a contract.
Correct.
Yeah, so outside of that,
And it's
I
gonna
don't
be
really
like
have
that, like it or not.
I don't have a whole lot more to say. I'm definitely excited. I can't wait to see you guys. And we this weekend is going to be phenomenal. We got people coming from all over. And shout out to the folks that donated tickets. We got some people that will be able to attend now that weren't able to. And that's fantastic. So we got some sister traveling all the way from Chicago, and I'm super excited. It's gonna be really nice.
That's great.
Yeah, this is the real
We're
deal.
gonna have a ball.
Oh yes,
We're gonna have a
indeed.
ball,
Family
y'all.
Oh
affair.
yeah. Right.
Family affair for sure.
I
The
can't wait to
first
hear the
event,
comedians.
yes. Oh man, I'm all crazy. For
That
real,
should be
for real.
interesting what they do with it. Yeah, I'm just like, what are they gonna
Yes,
do? What are they gonna
yes,
Yeah, Omar
yes,
fool.
indeed. Yeah,
Omar
I'm
straight
super
fool.
excited.
So,
Super
I think
excited.
so. I guess we're
Did
gonna get
anybody have
off.
any questions? You want to do any
Any
phone lines for maybe 10 minutes or something?
any
See if
questions before
anyone
we
has
get
any
out of here?
questions.
Let me check. Let me see. We
You
got
gotta
any.
put the phone number up, coach. Remember last time we
Yeah,
was like
phone
ringing it
number.
off the hook.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell you.
put that phone line up there for a few minutes and see if we can
Wah, wah,
gauge
wah.
forward.
All right. Well, I gotta sign in. Okay. The phone number is 678-250-3777. Oh man. It's not a good idea to have multiple keyboards laying around. You be typing the wrong keyboard and like wondering why it ain't working. All right, so if anyone would like to call in, the phone lines is now open. I'm gonna put the number on the screen real quick. But that number again is 678-250-3777. The phone's line is now open. All right. So other than that, I gotta finish up a little things tomorrow, and I will be getting prepared. Y'all know I'm gonna be hell, in an hour I'm gonna be a year older.
That's right.
Damn, man, this year's
Oh,
slipping
so we got
Oh,
by.
Sunday
happy
celebrate when we get down
birthday.
tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
I'm over here sleeping on my own birthday. You know I've been working. I ain't paid it no attention. I just looked at the time and said, well, all righty then. We done got through another.
I see. You know, it's when the week becomes one continuous day.
Right. That's how this week was. I don't even remember Tuesday. I thought we still was Monday. What's really going on? I keep telling everybody, it's not enough hours in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's not.
Man, I be trying to get everything done in a little 24. Well, I'd rather work hard 9 and rest
I'm just
easy.
glad. I'm just glad they pushed meetings every week instead of every man.
Close, ain't they, sister? Them crickets, they getting
Yeah.
louder. Them closer.
Them crickets ain't studying you. They don't want you to hook
They
them on no
getting
hook
loud.
and throw. Look, if you see a cricket, catch him, put him in a ball or something, bring him down here with you.
It's
We'll
not
feed him
just
to the
one.
fish.
It's like, y'all,
Ain't nothing
it's
but a
not just one.
cricket. We catch
It's
crickets.
millions of crickets. It's
We
not
talking
just one.
about
Catch all of them.
crickets.
Catch them all.
It's millions
We
of them.
talking
Y'all saying it's
crickets.
one. Millions of it.
She talking about Jimmy.
Yes.
Hey,
Man, no crickets
man,
ain't. They
I'm
most
trying
you
to tell you,
than you are them.
they don't want you to hook them with no hook and throw them in the water.
Right.
Hey, I
So
know, I know a
down
lake.
here in
I know
Georgia,
a
that's
lake.
bait.
I'm trying to tell you, I know a lake right now.
Mm-hmm.
You hook that cricket on that, and we throw them in the water and count to 5 and snatch them right out of there. Count to 5, snatch them right out of there.
Pan fried Friday.
I'm trying to tell you,
Pan fries.
them crappies be bigger than your hand. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
What grandma say? If it goes between what grandma say? If it goes in between slices of bread, it's a sandwich.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Well, I opened the phone lines. I don't think nobody took advantage of them being open.
Right.
So
They don't got no genealogy questions or nothing.
they excited to
No.
get them
Someone
folks
Right.
questioned in the
packing.
chat.
Them folks packing, getting ready for the tour. What's up?
Somebody wanted to know.
Uh-oh, there you
Somebody from
go.
the chat wanted to know how we start
There it goes.
hobby.
We got a caller calling from New Orleans. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
State your name, caller. Where you from?
Jay from New Orleans.
We got Jay from New Orleans, y'all. What's going on? How can we help you this evening?
Hey,
Hey,
I just wanted to know,
in.
are we able to apply the Public Law 93-638 Indian Self-Determination Act in education?
Okay, hold on.
Like
Before you
to
say that,
start out school?
I want you to say it one more time, and then you're gonna have to go off to hit an answer because they can't. You're not gonna be able to hear their reply. So I'm gonna need you to ask your question as best you can, so you can get back, so you can hear the answer.
I was wondering if we're able to use the Public Law 93-638, which is the Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act, if we're able to use that to help us with the schools. Because apparently, from my understanding and reading it, as long as we're ready, we should be able to, as a people, go forth and let them know that we're ready and we should be able to receive any funding to help us assist our own people to being self-determined and being an independent free nation.
Okay. Did y'all get that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you.
Bones.
Yes, I
Bones.
got
No.
Oh, he hung up. So go ahead. Y'all
I
go
got
ahead
it.
and answer this question.
Well, what tribe are you associated with? You would have to be attached to a tribe, community, or organization that would have been consistent for X amount of time. There's some challenges that's going to have to be
Correct.
made to that because a lot of those have been coded now since the Obama administration for Native Americans. So there are still some parts of those titles that do have specific clauses that we would be able to utilize, but have we don't have the community yet. The community exists socially because that is a community. We all talk about language, culture, and everything. So we are acting as a community in that regard, but in a specific area. And that is the part that you would have to set up camps, so to speak. You know, you would be able to do that if, let's say, we did, like when we do the municipal land trust. When you establish those parcels, you'll be able to build and to start to construct those things, and you'd be able to have the assistance of that. Um, it's actually been a while since I went over that. I
Correct.
will bring that up again, but those things that need tweaking, so that's not something that we can use immediately because they still have excluded us in different ways too. So there's still so many other things that have to be taken care of, specifically tribing up with the family. So that would have to be where people are vetted, and you do have to be acknowledged by other Indians. You have to be acknowledged by
Mm-hmm.
other people as living as Indians. So I
And
want
if I
people to
can
think
just add
about
on
that.
to what Sister Phoenix said, and just add on to what she said, one of the solutions to that, to speeding up the process, would be as a community starting a genealogy historical society, so that we're
Yes,
collecting the
that's correct.
records as families and be able to put it forward, show that this is a physical community that's based off of
That,
actual genealogy, and here's collection of records to prove it.
that's right. That's right.
Mm.
So that's what we are doing at looking to do with Wild Feathers. There is so many things that people don't know what to look for, and I don't care what kind of certification they have in genealogy. I am going to tell you there are different angles and tangible things that can absolutely be put to use as far as a claim against the genocide and the ethnocide that we have endured here in America. First and foremost, whether they want to talk about it or not, it exists. The evidence is there, and there's really no way around it. You want to have there's four elements that have to happen before you can get justice, before you can have some sort of change, or you can be sure that you're going to come out on the best end of it. And that is when you have your facts, because facts do not necessarily mean truth. Facts can be evidence towards the truth, but does not mean that that is what it is. So you need facts, you need truth, you need evidence, and you have to have proof.
Mm. That's it. Well, normally this.
Without it, there's no case.
What'd you say, Bones?
Whatever it is, you have to
Without the
have those
four, there is no
criteria.
case.
Oh yeah.
You have to have
Yeah.
those criteria
That's right.
if you want to win. And you got to know what your rights are, because, so you could stop getting mollywopped and then crying because you're getting mollywopped. They're not going to feel sorry for you. It's free to pull up the Constitution wherever it is that you live. It's free to find out how to make the government stop busting your head. It's
Facts.
free. Whether it's free time when you're not watching reality TV, whether it's free time when you're not watching the news, you're finding a solution. When you're not watching for the problem, that means you're searching for the solution.
Look at it this way. You can't complain about what's going on locally in your community if you don't even know your local's community constitution.
Oh, no, matter of fact, let's say this. You can complain. You should complain, especially if you have a grievance. You should complain. But if you don't complain and you want something mysteriously to happen, you want the person that's out to get you to give you something, then, well, you think about that. You think about that.
And that's the main part. You wonder why a lot of times when you go to politicians and political leaders, they just laugh. I can honestly tell you why by working with a lot. Because a lot of the solutions to our problems have existed for over 40 years. We just don't apply them. There's no one putting a gun to our head to say that we can't start our own industries. No one puts a gun to our head to say we can't start our own physical community. We just choose not to. We have locked into the identity of being an African American, a consumer.
A fiction person, a subject.
Yep.
That's what we've been locked into. But
I mean, think about it. Money isn't our problem. We're the ninth richest group on the planet. We're the ninth richest group on the planet. Money is not our problem.
Right. Well, we are the number one consumers.
We buy everything.
That's right.
Yep.
How to sell to the Negro. Here that is. Hey, but yeah, that's how it is though. That's facts. That's facts of life. That's facts. So I wasn't gonna hold y'all up too late. We was trying to get another call, not another call in, but we were trying to give them a time to call in before we jumped off. I
Then
got
you
a
said there was a question in the chat.
Bones. What
Yeah,
was the
someone
question?
asked on how do we lobby? I guess they mean a political lobbyist
How do
group.
we become lobbyists?
How do we start a lobby? Was the question.
Well,
Well, the steps to get. Oh, go ahead,
it's
sis.
easier to
I'm
start a
sorry.
political party because to get a lobbyist to take on our interests, a bunch of foreign lobbyists are going to take in the interest where we're saying we're American Indians and we want this and we want that. I think we're going to have a different approach to be successful in that, and it definitely ain't that. This ain't that. It sounds good. Lobbyists, catching up with them. I've called numbers of them to Washington D.C. and their service and even their customer service is quite pathetic. Everything's cash cow with those kind of people, so you got to be prepared for some heartache. You will be making phone calls. You will be going up your chain of command and protocol, and you still will find that there are some obstacles, and you're just gonna have to clap back. I mean, if the bully's gonna keep taking your lunch money and kicks your ass Monday through Friday, you got all weekend to figure out how to make sure that shit don't happen again on Monday.
Mm. Plenty of
So
time.
To me, it's easier. Get your own
yeah,
candidate, rent one, and then the
that's
lobbyist
right.
will come to you.
That's right. But you have to go to you need to know who's who. You should know who your mayor is. You should know. Look at the FOIA requests. See what they're saying about the people that's
That boy
saying
said
something
rent
about
one. My bad,
you
fam.
know. No, I was just saying, um, see what they're saying about the people that may say something about you. You need to be familiar. Who are the people
What you
in your neighborhood?
think?
In your neighborhood. Remember,
What
what
you
was
think
that,
Black
Mr.
Lives
Rogers?
did? Black Lives Matter rented the president. Black
Hey, hey,
Lives
hey,
Matter rented the president right in front of our eyes.
bacon,
Yep.
lettuce, and mayo. That is. That's what we call them. Bacon, lettuce, and mayo.
Hamburger. Hey, I ain't studying them folks.
That's how it's done.
So, yeah, it is.
I know that when it comes time to taking care of some of the internal issues, they're not active. They're not active on the internal issues. I'd be okay if they were in the internal
Because
issues, but
not
they
for
are not.
us.
And I'm pretty sure now that we're mentioning the
They were
fact
never
that Black
foreman
Lives
in it.
was not in Chicago when all those people got injured. Black Lives Matter was not there holding hands. No kumbaya on that side of town. So with that being said,
Got a question.
I think they will start to they will start to pay attention because we're saying something. They like to bite off our bills. But anyway, they're going to start doing something
Y'all
because we're
remember the
talking
brother
about
Who?
who's that?
Darren Sales. Darren Sales, the six people that originally started the movement that got hijacked, that you call
What
bacon,
movement?
lettuce, and mayo today.
Right.
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh,
All six of them were executed.
Yeah.
All six of them brothers were executed, and their murderers have not been found yet. Darren's last interview, he knew that bacon, lettuce, and mayo was
Hey, wait a
hijacked.
minute. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Fade
You talking
his
about the brothers that
like
was
that,
put in the
was
car
that
and
the
set
one
on
guy
fire in
who had
front of the
said
apartments and all that?
and set on fire.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, with the
Mm-hmm.
bullets in
Wait a
the
minute.
head. Yeah.
Bones,
They
bones.
killed all six of them.
Okay, so what about the brother that we used to have on the show? Me and you. He was out there with them. He's a barber. What's the what Hawk School? You know what I'm talking about?
who's
Yeah.
that?
Hawk School. That's
Yeah, an
Uh,
American Indian brother out there in the area.
yeah, he had just popped in and he was doing Instagram videos I think he was raised up Muslim and then he found out we was Indian and he does he said he was out there the day of Michael Brown was killed. He was in those apartments. This was his talking points when he first came in when we had first met the brother, but he had a good speech on him. And then he's just started building and doing videos every day. But that dude there, he was there. That's why when y'all started talking about, because he was talking about those guys being killed in them cars and stuff, and that's what made me. That's what reminded me of that dude. That dude there.
Bones, what was
Right.
your point of bringing that up? You were going to add something to that?
I was asking him, is that who he was talking? Was that what he was talking about? Was that the same? Was that the same situation? He said that them guys came up dead. I was trying to figure out, was that the same situation when they was when they put him in the
No,
car
I
and
was
set him on
asking.
fire?
I was asking why he brought it up. No, I understood what you said. I was asking why he brought it up. In relation to what Phoenix was saying.
The time that was saying, yeah, and the relation was saying that organization was never for us. It had no intention to service us. Now, this is the
Right.
nasty part. When you read their information, every person that's identified as an African American is a member of the LGBT community.
Hold
This
up,
is
wait a minute,
facts.
wait a minute. So you
They
said,
get
hold up, Bones.
Yeah, they are. They're all lesbians.
Wait a minute, I thought he just said something.
no. We are.
Thank you.
We are considered members. We are considered members because of how they designed their organization to serve our community. We are their members. We are
Oh, they got it.
defined, their constitution and bylaws, as their members. Yes.
Right.
Nobody
That's
ever
the reason why
website
they're able
and
to
read their
implement that shit in
constitution and
school.
bylaws.
That's how they was able to
That's
implement.
why.
I ain't part of none of they clique. I ain't part of none of they clique. I picked their whole sandcastle over. They better go ahead.
Yeah, and I think they're like, aren't they
And
like
that's
Jamaican and all this other stuff too? I don't think they're what they call
let's show you how this.
foundational.
You see how the United States, the United States is an organization. Basically, the United States government is a non-profit. It calls its members citizens. We are all citizens. We are all members of the company of the United States. It's no different than what this organization did. They created an organization and used us unwillingly, unknowingly, as their membership to get the funding to their agenda.
But did you see where all the
They
funding
use
went to?
us to get funding. Yeah, it's not to
Yeah,
us, but they get funding
it
because
went to
they're
the
servicing around
to
us.
right, but all the money went to the Democratic Party.
Exactly. That's what it's designed to
They,
do.
they,
All they have
they
to
can't
do
put in the
is they put a
nobody
facility
knows
in our
that.
neighborhood. They get 10 people from the neighborhood. Now they get federal forgivable loans because they're servicing American Indians, because they're servicing Indians. This is how the thing is being moved in America. Everybody broke off by servicing us.
Right.
Right.
But
Well,
isn't that what they say the country's built on, our labor and our resources and our land?
Off of our backs. And that's what they
Yeah.
mean when they say the country runs off of our backs. Because as long as we let other people service us, they're going to keep doing it. So it's one of the solutions. Start servicing ourselves.
yep. I know one thing. We definitely want to make sure that people are traveling safely, coming through those
Right.
airports. I wish everybody has the best of travel and mercies. People, it's nice. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna show out and cut up. So many loyal
Yeah.
people stayed with us throughout the whole COVID. When we were looking to do the event in April, and even up until now, to the last minute, for those that will be streaming that won't be able to come, and they will be streaming. We do have the live stream that will be available. You can go to our website, nograndmakillers.com, and it'll be on Saturday. We are not filming for Friday. We will be filming Friday, but we're not going to stream that. But Saturday, all day, we have a full day, and it's jam packed with brand new stuff, brand new flavor, brand new heat, specifically tailor made for Georgia. So in light of the trouble of the young people that was just the young man that was just injured fatally. Um, and so many other reasons. Georgia has tons of history. They were actually uh, against slavery in the beginning, so there's so many things you'll find out about it. And we're gonna break it down, even down to the law, to the surnames of the people. We'll be
Right.
doing a few genealogies. We are not going to be able to get to everybody's, but we will be doing genealogy on the spot as well. So try and come with a little something information in your head, so we can get to it and see if we can take it to the next level or help you get behind any brick wall. We're just really excited that you came, and you stuck it out with us the whole time. And we just got so much love and admiration for you guys. We're going to jam out today and we're going to be safe. We got the social distancing down packed. Coach is going to have it all hooked up. So, yeah, we won't be passing any cooties, but it's going to be a whole lot of love in the building. So
Yes.
we'll respect everybody's space. And the children, there are going to be some children present, so and some elders, so everybody will be on their best behavior. It's a lot of space outside. You want to make sure you dress appropriately for the weather. I don't know what states everybody is coming from, but there's a lot of people from out west and from Chicago coming, so certainly they'll know how to dress when they get to Atlanta. It might not be everybody's first time, but definitely want to check the weather forecast. Make sure that you have what you need to have outside in another country, another side of Indian country.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. So we look forward to
I
seeing everybody.
Yeah.
yes, I think that will
Yeah,
be
it's
all.
good.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I think that's it for me.
That's it and that's all.
Yes,
Hmm.
indeed.
I'm about to go
All right,
crash.
beautiful ones.
I'll see
Y'all
y'all
take
tomorrow.
care. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
All right.
Y'all be good and keep well. And everybody else, we on the countdown. We on the countdown. I'm super excited. See y'all in a few days. Peace
Peace.
about you, Kate.
Phoenix, let the world know the truth. Expose the lies, study the bloodlines, the aboriginal. Phoenix, let the world know the truth. Expose the lies, study the bloodlines, the aboriginal drive before the Spanish, the Dutch, and the British arrived. Saying we was from Africa and stole a birthright. That's a trick move, something that a dirty war would do. Claim your nationality of the land, you get screwed. So we studied your background, the treaties you wrote. Fake as history, we ain't come over here on no boat. Frontin' like you indigenous to the land, you disgust me. The tomahawk is back in our hands, it's getting ugly. You running around screaming black power, cause it sells to the truth. Rivers veiled with a bull and high hills. Native Americans butt hurt, can't deal, cause they know damn well the Trail of Tears ain't real. Respect the aborigine, this land is ours, we throw you all. You still a guest, motherfucker. I had one little, two little, three little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me, I had one little, two little, three little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me, house nigga, real nigga, fake nigga, feel nigga. My skin ain't black, what the deal, nigga? Salute on my real shit, it's aborigines, owners of the land and every goddamn tree and every goddamn sea. Invaders ever cross the step foot on the land, and you can step the fuck off. Breathe. You can make us swing the sacred tomahawk. Fucking around with us with that black conscious talk. Fake pics of slave ships, that's the reference. If we African, look, you gon' need more evidence. I'm American, Aboriginal, indigenous. Your bogey is name test. That shit is rhetoric. Stay woke. Aboriginal, get out. Your civil rights acts, all you can eat, big out. The Stockholm syndrome, make skits out. Phoenix Moon got the antidote, get that shit out. Meanwhile, I'm rapping about my birthright, fuck a freestyle. Teach each man, each woman, each child. Black races really Indians indeed now. Man, they indeed now. Hollywood, Title 18, G goes. The pilgrims get free gold with Phoenix and Beast Mode. Bringing my peoples out of the sleep mode. We ain't black, colors, Africans, or Negroes. But one little, two little, three little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me.
telling much, I had one little, two little, three little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling much,